Hi everyone, welcome to my next review, and that will be F1. It stars Brad Pitt, Damson Idris,
Hell of a race, huh?
and Javier Bardem. Hi everyone, I'm Johan, and I absolutely love classic films. And my whole goal is to share all the movies I love with you. From classic films to modern films, I am here to review them in their entirety. It would mean the world to me if you can like, share, and subscribe so I can bring you guys more videos. Thanks for watching. The movie is about Joshua Pierce, played by Damson Idris, who is an underdog race car driver in an underdog team.
Messy start doesn't mean you can't finish neat, right? Apex have a fire crew of engineers, so I'm confident we'll come back fired.
Racing against the world's finest, which is the F1 race. Lo and behold, Joshua Pierce is also introduced by Jorge Cervantes, who is played by Javier Bardem, who is the F1 promoter. He is introduced to Sonny Hayes, played by Brad Pitt. Now, Sonny Hayes is a washed-up race car driver who's American and has competed in various American racing championships.
I mean, last time you raced at Silverstone, Bill Clinton was your president and we were all dancing the Macarena.
Everything from NASCAR to the Indy and even races down in the Baja. Joshua Pierce at first is skeptical because, having been a race car driver for a long time, he has read a story about when Sonny Hayes was young. He did compete in F1 and it wound up in disaster.
However, when Hayes made a risky move and attacked Senna on the outside of a high-speed right-hand turn, a frightening scene unfolded as quick as a flash. And Joshua Pierce is skeptical that now he's much older and basically a washed-up has-been. How is he going to bring greatness to the team, and how are they going to win an F1 championship?
You're making a mistake of thinking that I'm just going to be some grateful kid who'll bend the knee to an old-timer.
Fun fact, the character Sonny Hayes is actually based off of real-life F1 driver Martin Donnelly. Some of the actual footage that happened during the Martin Donnelly crash was actually used in the movie to portray Sonny Hayes' earlier crash in his early days.
He really needs help. There is nobody coming to him at the moment. The race has been stopped. The red flag is out.
This movie also talks about ego, how the real world of race car driving works. There are real race car drivers featured in this movie, everyone from Max Verstappen to Lewis Hamilton and various other race car drivers. And Joshua Pierce, his role is to become the world's best. And they have competed in various different F1 championships, everywhere from Silverstone, which is the famous track in England, to Bahrain and various Grand Prix all across the world. And Joshua Pierce is still very, very upset that Sonny Hayes is present, because he'd rather not have his presence.
I climbed a mountain to get here, bro. Formula One.
Back home, we call that a participation trophy.
He feels Sonny Hayes is an American washed-up has-been. And since Joshua Pierce is a British race car driver, he may have an anti-American bias when it comes to that, because Americans don't value F1 like they do their own, which is the NASCAR Daytona 500, for example, and also the Indy 500, which is something that I personally like. I volunteer at an Indy championship in my own local area. So what I've noticed is this movie deals with a lot of egos, but it also introduces people to the world of engineering, world of promotion, world of politics, which there is some sort of backstabbing.
We've got a real shot at the championship next year.
What about Ruben?
Don't worry. You know, we won't embarrass him.
The engineers, I've learned that they're the most stressed out people when it comes to F1 racing.
Oh, no! This is mad!
I feel the scenes in F1 is very realistic, just like real F1 racing. Having been a fan of F1 since watching Drive to Survive on Netflix and having watched various races over the years, I have come to enjoy the way how they edited this film in terms of the realistic racing scenes in this movie. And as if I were actually watching, for example, the British Grand Prix, I would actually be able to tell no difference between what I saw in the movie and what I saw actual live on TV.
Hayes has been able to push much harder on this formation lap.
But this movie was actually shot during actual race car F1 championships. I felt since Lewis Hamilton is an F1 legend, a living F1 legend, wanted to make sure the scenes were realistic. The scenes were actually kind of portraying his job in a way, because it is a job for him, in a positive light, and also at the same time what they actually go through behind the scenes.
Lewis Hamilton was there amongst our actors, which was exciting.
The guys here are super embedded into this environment.
As opposed to a lot of other movies that actually portray real life situations where there's a bit of dramatic license to use. This, even though there is a lot of dramatic license to use, Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce are not real F1 drivers. They are portraying how the real life of F1 racing works, from everything from promotion to marketing. The engineering to the politics involved in that sport. I will say Lewis Hamilton, who produced the film, took his time in the editing room, in the post-production process, to make sure the sounds portrayed in the movie at every single turn are very real. And he went out of his way to have that particular detail.
And just, you know, Lewis is keeping us honest. You know, when we get a little Hollywood, he's calling so, and by the way, you can too if you see it. But thank you again.
I've enjoyed the actual racing and action scenes of the movie, and also at the same time I have enjoyed the human side of the movie. I love it when the movies combine all aspects of the human personality as opposed to being one-dimensional.
He's wheels ahead for the first time ever! Oh
no! And F1 just was able to be much more than three-dimensional, in my opinion. It captured every essence of a race car driver wanting to win, ego, and the human side, and the family, and the toll it takes on family, the sacrifices made by the family.
You still love it?
Of course I still love it.
Then remember what your father used to say. Put your head down and drive.
The thing I wish I saw more in the movie is more of Joshua Pierce's mom and Sonny Hayes' actual families, portrayed in the movie. While Joshua Pierce's mom was portrayed in the movie, she could have been in the movie a little more.
Here he comes. Apologize.
Apologize? I can't do that.
How you mean, why not?
Because it's a sign of weakness.
It's a sign of strength.
And also at the same time, I feel Sonny Hayes' family, no one was portrayed on his side. And it was just very vague references. So I wish a little bit of his family was portrayed as well. I would recommend this movie to anybody because you don't have to be an F1 fan to watch it. I feel it encompasses every aspect of being a human. Everyone wants to win. Everybody wants to be a part of something good.
That's what up buys breakfast.
And everybody also goes through trials and tribulations.
Doctors have said that Pierce will miss the next 3 races due to the burn suffered on his hands as he begins his road to recovery.
And what stands out is it shows people that in order to succeed, you have to get yourself out of the comfort zone, out of your own comfort zone, and that's what Joshua Pierce did. And I feel like that's a lesson for a lot of people, and you don't have to be an F1 fan or even follow F1 to understand. In terms of F1, what I thought of Sonny and Joshua's relationship is it was fractious at first. Joshua being a young race car driver, young F1 phenom, well not necessarily phenom, but F1 hopeful who wants to be a champion, felt that Sonny Hayes was dragging him down instead of lifting him up.
What's the difference between Joshua Pierce and Sonny Hayes?
A lot of decades.
Hard-won experience.
Of living in a van.
Total freedom.
Total failure.
However, during the movie, it wasn't an easy linear path to friendship. It was a very bumpy ride, and at one point, Joshua Pierce was seriously hurt, and that kind of caused a lot of commotion between Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce's family.
I think you're a dangerous asshole.
Mrs. Pierce.
You're part of the same team, right? Looking out for each other. Except you had him doing something so dangerous, it almost got him killed.
And I also think Joshua Pierce being British, there was an anti-American bias attached to it because one of his associates in the movie, spoiler alert, calls him Chuck Norris. But over time during the movie, they both got along and they both hugged each other at the end when they won a championship.
We did it.
Yeah, we did.
Spoiler alert again. When it comes to the redemption of Sonny Hayes, what I thought was Sonny Hayes gets redemption by winning an F1 championship at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert.
Today we get to say we are the best in the world!
And the reason being is some of his old school methods worked and he won. Even though he didn't have a great relationship with F1 in the past. He did, however, find his way to redemption by winning an F1 later in life. He also got redemption with his friend, Ruben Cervantes, played by Javier Bardem, where at first their friendship fell apart because because of that accident that happened in their young years.
Spinal contusion, compressed thoracic vertebrae, further blunt force impact trauma likely to result in vision loss, paralysis, death.
Really lead with the good news, don't they?
This is a report from 30 years ago.
Fast forward many years later, all what Sonny Hayes wanted to do was, he didn't really care about the fame and glory. He wanted to win a championship. And he was able to do that for Ruben Cervantes. And he was able to get redemption in that way as well. So in 2 ways, Sonny Hayes got redemption. And that is my review. It's F1, it came out in 2025, and I'll see you guys at the next review.